All right. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everyone. So, yo, Ryok, you renewed your membership? Fuck yeah, I appreciate that, man. For 5 months, you renewed your membership. Damn. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Or you celebrated 5 months of being a member, I guess. That's insane. I appreciate you so much for becoming a member, man. It means a lot. Let me ping the server and let them know that we're live. Alright, hello everyone. So, today I'm here to discuss chapter 316, right? But there's some other stuff to talk about. So, there's oh yeah, we bet a year? What we bet the year on? I can't remember. Again, horrible. But we're here to talk about chapter 316. Some debating. It's not just gonna be me. Raven will be tuning in a moment. He is currently finishing up work, so I told him I'd start, and then he can join when he's free. But we're here, and it's time to start. I also have some food here. I went to Chick-fil-A. I got some food. But yeah, so today, chapter 316 summary. I'll be talking with you guys until Raven gets here, and then we'll jump into the chapter. How did I do on the trivia thing? I got second place. So, I got like 75-ish% accuracy on the questions. I think I missed a couple of them, like 2 or 3. But I got tied for second in terms of accuracy. The guy who got first was only ahead of me by like 300 points. Nagi 1v1 versus Lavinho. Lavinho's taking that. What do you mean? What do you mean? You think Lavinho is losing to Nagi? Hell no. Also, thoughts on Nigeria's awakening. Okay. I could see the story going either way. I could see them awaken, but I could also see them fail. Like, they start to awaken, and then they just get stopped. But, I don't know. I am kind of curious if they are going to go the route of them just getting demolished. Because, like, it's pulling the Vin Diesel card a little bit. It's like, oh, we're family, and stuff like that. I don't know. I hope you guys can hear the music playing. I hope it's not, like, overwhelming as well. I hope it's, like, chill and enjoyable. Let me set this up real quick. I'm setting up. The chapter just dropped, so I'm kind of slapping it in there. Also, I just found out Gachiakuta dropped. I'm gonna read that. I should read that after, because that's kind of interesting. I want to read that later. Anyways. Will Isagi make it 3-0, or will Onazi finally tap it in? I think Isagi will score at some point, but I think Onazi might get one next chapter, or the chapter after. I don't know. Is Onazi a new gen or average to high tier NEO player? I wouldn't even say Onazi's like top 10. If you were to go into the BLUELOCK, if you were going into the BLUELOCK project, like the NEL he got on the rankings, I don't even think he's hitting top 10. No. Kuso. Okay, so Kuso, I would probably say he's maybe above Yukimiya, below Gagamaru is where I put Kuso. Onazi, I would probably put under Karasu. Bello, I'd probably put him maybe below Raichi or above Raichi. And then Obabonia, I'd probably put him below Hiyori. It's probably where I would scale them. Just because we haven't seen much from those last two, and the other guys are alright, but like, I don't know. Thoughts on Ego and Henri's, like their voice acting? Like the sub actors for Henri and Ego? Yeah, I think they're great. I think they work really well. I like their acting skills. I like their voices. I think they work. Yeah, the Gachikuta. Oh my god, Gachikuta. Love that show. Sorry, I know this is a BLUELOCK stream, but like I'm so excited for for covering Gachikuta next week on the Arrow Plus channel. Can't wait to talk about it. Wondering if they will bring on a sub this game. Ooh. A sub this game. See, I could see them bringing on a sub, but at the same time, they don't need to. They just went 2. They're up 2 in the first 10 minutes. Like, I don't know if they need to bring a sub on. Like, I don't know if they're gonna need to sub at all. They're just kind of destroying this team. So even if they get 1, I think Isagi will score a 3rd, and they won't need a sub, which is very weird. Feels weird. Events of this chapter went crazy though. What's 2 oddlers? Look this up. Oh, I know this guy. I've seen him on TikTok. I don't have an opinion of him. I don't have an opinion of him, to be honest. I don't really care too much. I think Animasu has a negative opinion on him, but I don't know. I don't really watch him enough to care or form an opinion on him. Do I think Japan sweeps? No. I think they sweep this game, but France, they're gonna lose. England, it's gonna be closer. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see. Oh, Raven is pinging me. Alright, Raven's gonna be just a little bit longer than he'll be on. So we have a little bit till then. Anyways. How's everyone doing? All having a good time? I think the chapter was overall really good. I like the chapter. I think in terms of chapters, this one was probably one of my more favorite ones since. But I do have a crazy theory to debate about with you guys. We're gonna do hold up. You realize we're gonna do another tier list. Yeah, we gotta do another tier list. I gotta set this tier list up then. Yeah. While I'm doing it, I gotta set this. I gotta get the images for Onazi, Kuso, and Obabone. I gotta get these guys in here for our tier list because stuff has happened. Stuff has changed since last time. Where would I rank the chapter? This chapter is a solid like 9.5 to be honest for me. What's happening with the BLUELOCK New World movie? BLUELOCK New World movie is in progress. I'll say this. So we've had, I'll be transparent. We've had a couple issues that have arisen when it came to characters and writing. And we're still looking into tweaking a couple things. Like we're doing a couple rewrites and stuff. But you guys are going to be impressed. I don't think we'll get a trailer, unfortunately, out this year. Hopefully early next year, like maybe February or maybe March, we'll get a trailer out. Like a full 90-second trailer, voice acting, music, gameplay, like all that. I'm hoping we can drop sometime around March. But I do want to drop some character art, some posters, sometime within like October-ish, early October, mid-October-ish. I want to drop some extra stuff like that. Because we're getting our artists heavy on we want to lean really heavy into marketing for the movie, and then we want to get our artists going crazy. I think it'll be interesting. Do I think they put Ryo in the opposite position of any Chiggity because of Ryo copy? No, I just think Chiggity was put there for crossing, but that's about it. I don't know why, but that's kind of where he's at. What do I think Ryo's celebration will be? He had a celebration there. He had his like fist pump thing. We'll hold up. We'll get there. We'll get there. We won't spoil anything just yet. I'm setting up the tier list right now. Trying to think if any other characters have any other characters done something this game? Like I'm trying to think. I can't recall. Okay, hold up. I gotta look this up real quick now, because this is going to annoy me. My mouse isn't showing up on screen, and this is annoying me. Does that ever happen to you guys? Like whenever you guys are like typing or something, the mouse just kind of disappears. This is annoying. Sorry, I'm so sorry. This is like causing the stream to be boring. I just my mouse is like stuck. Like I can't see my mouse. It's annoying the hell out of me. I gotta look this up. There we go, I got it. My mouse is back. Hey! Hello. Sorry for the issue. I'm here though. Do I think the NEL countries will have notable characters other than the new Gen 11s plus Ness and Agi and Loki and Charles? Maybe. Because, like, I don't know. Like, I hope we have some kind of interesting... Like, okay. There's supposedly an English new Gen 11 we're going to be getting. And we have Agi. I want Agi on the team. Hello? Yeah, here we go. I want Agi to be shown in the England game, because if he isn't, it's going to be very disappointing.
Yeah, it's
like,
going to be very disappointing.
Oh, hello, Raven.
It's funny how I joined when you talked about Agi.
Oh, yeah, it's like we summoned you when...
Yeah.
So,
dude, if Agi isn't in the England game, I'm going to be so upset.
Yeah, well, he should be. Like...
Yeah. Like, him as a character is also really interesting. But...
Oh, yeah. He's such an interesting character. But yeah, so I was just kind of waiting for you to show up, because now we can talk about chapter 316. We can go through it and, talk about it.
I don't think we do it chronologically. Let's just talk about the general points.
Yeah, well, like, starting with Bachara and Rao.
Yeah. So... This is where they showed off their chemical reaction by Rao replicating Bachara.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and...
so...
Go ahead.
Stick with it. I was basically like... I knew it would be, like, powerful, but I didn't think it'd lead to an immediate goal. It seems like... For once, Blue Lock ain't on the back foot, or like the team that we're in support of, in watching the perspective of, ain't on the back foot.
Mm-hmm. It's weird.
Like, you could say the same about the U20 match, right? But like, Sai was always a presence, and we were always like frightened of him.
Yeah, and Aiku, and then Shido,
and then the eventual Shido, but. In this match, I don't think any of the Nigerian players got that source besides Unazi, and Unazi is trying to carry it all on himself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just,
I think what was cool, just specifically about Bachara's dribbling with Rao, is how I wouldn't have expected these two characters to get goals in the opening game. Before Isagi and Rin.
I don't think anyone could have predicted, like, people could have, like, wished for it to happen, right? But I don't think anyone hard predicted that Bachara and Rao would be the first two goal scorers.
Yeah. I know Sizzles got predicted Bachara scoring goal first, but getting a Rao predict after that, like...
Yeah. I doubt. Heavily.
To be fair, I also thought, like, okay, maybe it's me, and maybe I'm hating. I love Rao. I love Chigiri. You know this. I've made it very well known. But for some reason, this goal here doesn't feel right. Like, for a Rao goal.
In this?
No, it's a matter of, if Rao was going to score a goal, I have no issue with him scoring by copying Chigiri, right? But for his first goal, and one this quick, it feels... I don't know, it feels weird that he's going with Chigiri for his first copy goal. Like,
I think narratively it makes sense, because Chigiri is usually, like... of course, not factoring in Bachara, because Bachara did score the first goal. Chigiri is usually the open play, and it feels more like an intentional strategy for Rao to score after Bachara's goal with Chigiri's ability. They, of course, would expect it from Chigiri himself, but not from Rao.
Like,
I feel like that is enough for me to say, like, it's a goal in which I like, most definitely. And I'm not going to complain about how it was built up either, because
no complaints.
This pace is actually really nice. It's refreshing in comparison to the long drawn out matches, but that's because Isagi isn't the only focus. Isagi's mindset is...
You know what's crazy? If you think about it, all of the Nigerian chapters, depending on how they pace it, could be one full episode of the anime. Like, legitimately. Like, they structure a chapter to be around 4 minutes or so, give or take. We have 4 chapters. That's about 16 minutes, including any build-up or an opening or anything like that. So far, we would have gotten 2 goals in one episode, which in the World Cup, I don't think something like that has happened since the U20 game with Sai and Nagi having their goals being in the same episode.
Yeah.
Like, these are back to back. Like, Bachata scores his goal. You have the 4-minute break. Reo and Bachata start their play together, and then another goal scored. Legitimately 5 minutes in between each goal. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, it just goes to show, like, we can expect some goal-heavy matches. Like, this where BLUELOCK is on a lot of offense. I mean, it's less offense in comparison to the U20 match, yeah, but, like, they have a lot of players in which can very capable of individually getting a goal. Isagi is the only player who would have to use other people for his maximum output.
Yeah.
But is strong.
Yeah. Like,
and I like this over the PXG game. I feel like the NEL for the longest time with its free goal system restricted this kind of
I understand
intensity.
that.
Because now we can have more than 3 goals.
Oh yeah, you can go like it's like with 3 goals, it was structured in a way of you knew who was going to score, but not how they were going to score. In this, it's you don't know how they're gonna score, when they're gonna score, or who's gonna score it. Like, and what's interesting is that even in like first and second selection, you knew who was gonna score, right? Like. For Team Z, you knew it was going to be Kunigami, Chigiri, Bachata, or Isagi. Or Gagamaru was a throw out there, but he's not consistent, right? But you knew they were going to score. Second selection, there's so many limited people. There's only 4 max on a team. You knew who was going to score.
Yeah.
But, and then even in the U20 game, like, you knew Rin was going to score. You knew Isagi was going to score. You knew Bado, I think, was once he subbed on, I'm pretty sure people were like, yeah, that's it. I think the only unpredictable one was potentially Nagi. Just because it was the start. There was no foundation for it. But Shida was made sense. Sai was a little bit out there. Because, like, he wanted to have a striker score one. So him taking one himself was a little bit, left turn. But even then, like, the fact that in the U20 World Cup now, we have no idea who's scoring and when, it feels fresh. And I like that.
I can definitely wholeheartedly say, like, if we were to go down the route of Rin and Isagi scoring the first goals, I feel like that would have turned people away.
I think if Isagi scored and then Rin a little bit, but I feel like if Isagi scored the opener and then it followed with Bachata or Reo or Chigiri or other characters afterwards, I feel like it's a little more.
Yeah, but this is their chance to expand. Like,
yeah, it's great that they're not having.
Rin are the aces, but you would expect the aces to score like, at other points. If they were to score the first initial goals, it would be like, okay, this is the predictable formatting of the NEL PXG versus Spartan Munich game, because you can expect Isagi or Rin to score the final goals.
I think the opening points of this game are really good. I'm just concerned for the ending, because if every game ends with like the 90-minute overtime, we have an extra 2 minutes of additional time to score a goal last minute. That would get boring to me.
That's the Kuroko basket and haiku format. And the thing is, with football, at least you can have some variety. But like, here's the issue: Nigeria's likely their only chance to do that. I think they should swallow Nigeria up like 4-2.
Yeah, but like my issue is how it ends. Is it gonna end with them just running out the clock? Like, they score, like they're winning, right? But like, how do you end it in a good, enjoyable way if it's not a last-minute goal? And that's what I think is the most difficult part about this sport when it comes to a writing standpoint.
It's because usually a last-minute save can be quite intense, but usually, like, in football, traditionally, how matches usually end is that the goalkeeper saves a shot before the timer goes out, and then when he kicks it back onto the field, the whistle blows. That's quite traditional in football. Yes, yeah,
but
it's boring. But
no, I know it's traditional, but that's the issue of the writing aspect, is that you don't want it to be boring. You want to have a nice climactic ending. Like, for example, if it ended with Gagamaru blocking an Onazi shot that would have tied the game up and let them continue into overtime or something, that's a good way I think you could end it, right? But the issue is I don't see them getting close to Blue Lock's score. Like, if Blue Lock scores 4, I don't see Nigeria scoring 3.
Yeah, I could imagine that it's Blue Lock hunting for another goal when they don't need it, because that's what they're built for. To crush crush Nigeria even more, to say like, you're nowhere close to this level.
Yeah. So
it kind of shows off like you may have been like the saviors of Africa last, like
exactly. You're not him. So aside from just our general chapter review and thoughts, I do have 2 other things for this stream that I think are going to be interesting. One is a hot take that I have that I think is going to start a lot of debate, because my last take of me saying the former Japan U20 team could beat Nigeria sparked a lot of controversy on social media. A lot of controversy.
I am aware.
This next take might be even worse. So there's that. Next one is that we talked about it on the last time a goal was scored, that every time a goal was scored, we were going to go through and make a tier list of the ranking of the performances by players. And we just got another goal 2 chapters after, which is crazy.
Yeah,
so
Bachelor stays in S tier. I believe that's.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll figure it out when we get there. But I think
come on, you know, and I.
We'll figure. Yeah, we know, but we'll figure out when we get there. But I think what I think is, bringing it back to the Rayo goal point. It's not that I think him scoring with Chigiri is bad. It's the fact that I think him scoring with Chigiri now is the concern. I think the fact that he scored this early, it worries me for the England game and a lot of my predictions for Rayo in England, where I thought he was going to score a goal then, which is where I thought his first opener goal would be. It makes me worried of whether he's going to score one then or not, and how. Because, like,
I don't think Rayo is as intimately, like, as much as he did play for Manshine and same with Chigiri, I don't think that, like, intimately is connected with England. They used it for physicality purposes.
Well, it's
the only one who.
It's the thing about Nagi being like people predict Nagi's returning in England. So I feel like if he returns, Nagi X Rayo chemical reaction, a new revised form, is something that we'll see. And I feel like to some capacity, Rayo should shine that game. Like
I believe my predictions are probably like Roy South, right? This is considering both if not Nagi was there. If Nagi was there, I don't think he's working with Rayo.
Well, okay. Define what you mean by working with, like, you don't think they'll exchange passes or create a play together at all?
I believe if they were on the same pitch as each other at the same time, Nagi won't strive for a chemical reaction or play with Rayo. He won't strive for it. And I felt like he would just take the ball. Like, Rayo's expecting, oh, are we going to do the same thing like we usually do, Nagi? No, Nagi's going to take the ball and individually run.
I could see something similar to episode Nagi's final chapter, where Rayo gives Nagi a final pass, but it's not to the point where it's right in front of the goal, like 5 stage, where there's a significant distance where Nagi can make it on his own. Like, Rayo breaks up, like, I could see Rayo playing, like, defensive midfielder, or even like a defender, and he pushes up the line, feeds Nagi a pass into the midfield more upwards, and then Nagi by himself, or maybe even working with like Kiora, because I know a lot of people link Nagi and Kiora. I know Anamasu does that he has a prediction of that. I think it'd be interesting to see Nagi and Kiora work together after a Rayo setup. Like, because like when I think Nagi and Rayo chemical reaction, I don't think that like they have to work together in the same way that they did in Manshine. But I think there's a capacity where if they don't have some interaction, it would feel weird. You know, because like Ryo was crying on live TV when he wasn't there, or when Nagi was leaving, and he's fine now.
If we look
but
into
like
Nagi's perspective, like Nagi's own motivation now is not even for the sake of Ryo. It's the same case of like how he was in the second selection. He's not going to strive for it, and he's not going to feel excited by it. And of course that led to the third selection, and of course Nagi wanted to be lazy and complacent by being codependent again, because that was the easiest route for him to accomplish his ideal. But since it wasn't everlasting, it went back to working with Ryo wasn't as exciting. It was just comfortable, and comfortability is what he doesn't need. And if he knows that mindset now, and I think he does know that mindset now more than ever, I'm going to expect either Ryo and Nagi are likely not going to be on the pitch together. Ego won't allow it if he ever does sub him on. Or Nagi will just flat out not want to actually collaborate with Ryo on it.
Do you think...
It's kind of like how Kaiser refused to collab with Nets, in a way.
Yeah. Do you think it'd be a situation where like Nagi, like, okay, let's say episode Nagi is canon, like in the scope of like that final pages where he's running out onto the pitch, that is just like a preview of what's happening. Let's say Nagi runs out onto the pitch and is now a super sub.
Mm-hmm.
If Ego chooses to play them, I could see them having an interaction where Ego subs off Ryo for Nagi, like Ryo's in the midfield again. No, but like subs them off. They have that interaction as they're swapping off the pitch, and they do like the high five, and they sub on. And then Nagi's like there. He has motivation from Ryo, but he also is playing by himself.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up, really, because that's the exchange that I expect from their first interaction. I don't doubt that they will work together, but for like specifically the England game, I feel like Nagi has something to prove against Agi specifically. Because Agi this entire time gave him the advice, gave him the resources, but he refused to not take them. And I understand Nagi's comfortability in his own playstyle, but Agi was right in his advice, but likely just had a less than optimal execution for how Nagi can feel like working towards it will actually benefit him.
Mm-hmm.
Because Nagi always viewed that path as a pain. He never thought, like, oh, I'm getting better from this.
Oh yeah. There's also there's two questions I want to ask, and one of them kind of relates to, not really a question. One of them's a take. I'll start with the take first, and I'll ask the question after. When it comes to formations in future games, I feel like it's going to be very obvious who's going to have a significant impact on the game. Going off this formation, like you see this formation that we have here, and for this BLUELOCK formation, BLUELOCK Japan formation, I feel like it's anyone's game. Like, there's so many good possibilities you could have with any character. Like, with Ryo, Bachira, Rin, and Isagi on the front line, like, to be fair, anything could have happened. A lot of people were expecting Isagi and Rin. Bachira and Ryo was not what I was guessing. Right?
Yeah.
So, but like, going into future games, I feel like in other formations, any other formation than this, if you see it altered in a way, I feel like it's going to be a key towards, like, it's going to be a key towards who's scoring. Like, for example, if Bodo's on the pitch, right? If Bodo's on the pitch, next game, for example, against France or something, or against France. Or, well, I guess France is a bad example because I think we predict they're going to get washed. But, like, let's say against England, if Bodo's on the pitch, or if Shido's on the pitch, or if Kyora's on the pitch, or if Corona's on the pitch, you kind of have an idea that they are going to significantly impact a goal. Create a goal, or score one. And that's what I'm worried about. Like, this formation feels so good because it's anyone's game. In future formations, I feel like it's going to be more obvious as to who scores goals, and I want to know your opinion on that, and if you agree with me, or have your own kind of take in relation to that.
Yeah, so, in my eyes, they can be predictable, but as we saw from this, like, it's not predictable so far. And of course, if they take the same route of like the wingers / offensive midfielding players actually being able to score the goals, yeah, I get why it can be predictable, but we gotta think like the reason it's supposed to be like that in traditional football. We can't expect defenders to go upfield and score goals because it's just less than optimal. If they're pushed with a counter attack, it is a high risk. But if, for example, we know that the players who are on the offensive midfield or the wingers aren't as capable of scoring goals, all Kaneshiro has to do is give them an opportunity where it very much looks like they can score. And that gives us more hope to believe that they have opportunities to score. We wouldn't think characters like Kiora or Kurano would score, but they've also been individually trained, working on their abilities. It's not impossible, and they both have previous accolades to being able to have goal scoring potential. Kurano specifically being the number 4 player in the second selection.
Yeah.
I just want to think like we won't be able to predict everyone who scores in a match. Like, of course we can't guess everyone, but in regards
it's not a matter of who predicts the goal. It's a matter of you can tell who's going to have a key role in it. For example, if Corona's on the pitch, I feel like an Isagi goal is pretty easy to suspect it's coming at some capacity during that game. If Kyora's on the pitch, we can assume that he's going to involve himself in some way with scoring a goal. Because, like, that's all he did. Like, that's all we have for his character. If Shido's on the pitch, he's going to score a goal. Like, that's my biggest worry, is that with these characters that we know
that's
of.
just how it works in real life as well. Like, you want it to be exciting, but you got to realize, like, some predictable goals have to happen.
Yeah, I guess. I just didn't know if you felt the same way that I do.
We have to just, like, look at it from this mindset, right? We didn't... of course, people expected Bachira and Reo to score at some point. No one predicted both of them to score this early. Of course, people predicted one or the other, but never both of them. So that in itself is already an unpredictable factor. And also the fact that BLUELOCK are up 2 goals already from the get-go. And this is like, what, 13 minutes into the match?
Not even. I wouldn't even say this is 10.
13 minutes or less, right?
Well, because Bachira... You think Bachira scored his goal at less than 4 minutes. You think it took an extra 9 minutes to get here? I don't think so. I think they got here in less than 5.
I'm saying that's why I said 13 minutes or less, because I believe it can be anywhere up to that or less.
Yeah, I think it does come down to whatever the writer says. Like, if he says it took 9 minutes, I don't think it took 9 minutes. But if he says it took 9 minutes, it took 9 minutes. Like,
this stuff is inconsistent. We'll just run with it. But in any case, we know it's definitely under 15 minutes. But overall, predictability happens, and that is going to occur when we expect Isagi to score. There's going to be key players in which work better with him, or maybe key players who have never worked with him at all, to where he can make a new chemical reaction. That makes that stuff so predictable because we know Isagi's character. But it's not necessarily a bad thing to be predictable. It's refreshing and or insightful to a possible formula in the future. In which then Isagi works with other players who he doesn't traditionally work with. Working with Kiora would be very interesting for Isagi because, well, he never had that opportunity in the Massive Munich versus PXG game.
I'll ask this then. This is the other question I wanted to ask. It's nothing related, but I think it's something to talk about now, especially with Ryo. Ryo has definitely awakened his master copy techniques, right? He now has a wide array of copying abilities in his arsenal. So then, I want to ask you, out of all of the weapons that Ryo has copied, what 3 do you think he is most comfortable with? So like closest to 99%. Do you think he's at? Like which which 3 skills do you think he's most comfortable using to where he can get them as close to the original as possible? Because like Chigiri's 44 Panther Snipe here, in my opinion, would be one of them. He's worked and played alongside Chigiri for so long. He knows how Chigiri likes to play. He knows about Chigiri's personality and who he is as a character, as a person. They have good chemistry together. I think this technique is something that would be in his top 3 most comfortable things to use. So what are the other 2?
But by that same logic, we could also say Nagi, but I don't even think Nagi's one.
I do say Nagi. I would say
so. The reason being is because trapping innately is not one of Ryo's better qualities.
Yeah, but he was able to copy the jumping turn trap shot. If he could copy that, you saw Nagi do it in episode Nagi.
I'm not saying he can't copy it. I'm saying it's not comfortable for him to copy.
No, but I'm saying like he knows Nagi more than anyone. And Nagi's trapping so far is the only genius trait we've seen Ryo be able to copy. Everything else is technically like his trapping is the only thing we've ever seen genius-wise that Ryo has been able to do. He knew Nagi for so long; they were closest of friends. He helped Nagi. He essentially helped Nagi create the jumping turn trap shot in episode Nagi. He saw him use it in that game, and then he used it himself. I think even now, after the 50 days, I still think he'd be comfortable using that technique more so than any other person.
I also here's then the other issue. You said it's innately genius related, and
I would say his trapping is
also, yeah. That's another reason why it could be a little bit more uncomfortable, and also the fact that he's trained to replicate the weapons of the other 22 players in the team. So he likely hasn't been focused on Nagi as much. Which
obviously, yeah,
gives a little bit more backing to maybe being a bit more uncomfortable. I would say Chigiri is definitely number 1.
Chigiri's one of them.
I would like if I was to put out a stretch, I would put Nagi, but I will say like his trapping is probably generally more uncomfortable for Ryo to perform. But not to say that he can't copy Nagi. Don't get that misinterpreted. I'm just saying like,
yeah,
other characters would likely be much more comfortable for Ryo to copy.
Oh.
Hello, Onyx.
Hey, Onyx.
Hello, monkey.
Oh, I didn't actually expect you to be here. Hello.
Thank you, Frieza.
Thank you. No, I'm done with classes for the day.
Yeah,
Tuesdays and Thursdays. Well, so I have a half semester class, but it's only in the second half. I realized.
Make a video then, asshole.
Dude, did you not see me editing the rematch video?
No.
Oh, I have a plugin on Premiere. So like you know how like when you play a video game, Discord would be like, you've been playing this video game for this long. I have that, but for Premiere Pro.
Last night I was fucking out of it. So
real. No, I coughed up a lot of blood today. It was fun.
Well, that's not good.
No, it's healthy. It's a healthy amount of blood.
It's because he's getting tickled. He's getting tickled too much.
Oh, he's getting tickled? Okay. Well, that's okay then.
Yeah. When I like squeeze my sore throat, it just goes meh, like a rubber ducky.
You were also very like, I'm not being rude, but you guys were very like MIA yesterday. Like everyone was. Oh, yeah. Everyone was MIA yesterday.
What did I do yesterday?
Mondays suck, man.
Mondays do.
It was Labor Day. I remember saying Happy Labor Day, and that was about it.
Yeah. Yeah, Labor Day doesn't apply to me.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
I know. Yeah. Yesterday, I think I said to those who celebrate because I knew it didn't apply to you. We also
just asked the question: what 3 copies from Ryo's master copy arsenal do you think he's the most comfortable with using? In other words, which copies in his arsenal do you think he can get the closest to 99% or closest to the original?
I have no idea.
See, Raven said Chigiri 1. Ryo said Raven said Chigiri 1 for Ryo's passing or Ryo's weapons. I said Nagi 1. And I said Chigiri 2. Just because Nagi, I feel like, is inherently.
I watched both of them like before he was given the tapes.
I did point out innately, like, if Nagi is someone that he can comfortably copy, fair. But I just don't think so because I don't think trapping is innately something Ryo can do comfortably, and it's a genius trait, as Arrow wants to point out. So,
yeah, it was literally mentioned in like the Chris Prince introductory chapter that like Nagi has like supple little feet. And that's why he's good at trapping.
Well, yeah, what was it like? I'm pretty sure his muscles were very cushion like. Like he was able to just turn his entire body into a cushion.
Who doesn't do jack shit. He's like ripped.
Well, no, because he worked out. Like he worked out for.
Well,
The
when he was
Manshine
Manshine,
thing.
yeah, but even before then, like when Chris
No,
was
even
doing
before he
the
wasn't
announcements.
very ripped before Manshine.
No, he was
Not as much as he is now, but he was strong.
I'd
He was
say,
strong,
like,
but he's just
he was-
naturally.
he was skinny buff, naturally skinny buff. Because
And then he bulked up a bit in Manshine.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah, he
he
bulked
says
Manshine,
his
but
body.
he's skinny.
He says his skills of like his body loosens to make his entire body into a cushion. His elasticity and fluidity are what give him high numbers in that
Which
regard.
is weird because you're wearing cleats, but I digress.
Yeah, but that's a physical component in which Rayo has to try and copy. Which
Well, it's also
you know,
I feel like it's
Rayo's
less of his like the cleat thing, right? Because if you like stick your leg out and you like tense your muscles, if something came and hit it, it's not gonna just absorb it. It's probably gonna bounce off. But if Nagi just like turns his body into a cushion, like even his lower leg muscles, and just kind of like lets the ball fall onto his feet, he's gonna trap that like easily. I don't know. Maybe I sound stupid, but
yeah, you do sound stupid. But
not really.
No, I mean in general.
Oh, I do, but yeah. Anyways, I would say honestly for the third, hear me out on this. I think Rayo might be most comfortable with Jinga. Like, he trained to be a copy of Sai, so he's got Sai's dribbling techniques drilled into him, right? And Sai inherently has a counter dribbling technique, and Jinga turned Bachira's dribbling into a counter dribbling technique. So I feel like with previous experience with Sai's dribbling, and now Bachira's, I think he'd inherently be a decent, you know, he'd be comfortable using Jinga. Am I wrong for that, or?
Well, he's already shown that he has, or that he can. So.
He can. I wouldn't doubt it. I feel like in terms of technicality, going from Sai to Bachira me is the right direction because you know Sai trains for Real, therefore
yeah,
it is interchangeable. And if you train for Sai, it's easier to train for Bachira than it would be for Sai if Sai's dribbling is much more technical in comparison. Well, it's not. Whilst Bachira has only just learnt that. Like it's much more patient dribbling style.
Also, I want to just put this into perspective. None of the blue lockers have started sweating yet. The Nigerian players are sweating.
Yeah.
It's also only been 10 minutes. I'm waiting for them to turn it up.
Me thinks Nigeria should be narratively cooked.
Yeah.
We're gonna have one last hurrah with Onazi stepping up.
We can here's what I think. Of course, the debatable subject of the original U20 versus Nigeria argument that you had got a lot of backlash. You could just argue that the Blue Lock version of this team, now with an evolved Aiku as well, is like if you were to put a multiplier on it, how much better do you think it is?
This team?
Yeah.
Like the Blue Lock 11 team?
Yeah.
Blue Lock Japan?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's hard. Because, like, we're, okay. At a scale of 100, where do we put the former Japan team? Like, like 100 being the best team in the, 100 being 100 being the best team in the world, 0 being fucking Igaguri could solo them.
Yeah, here's the overarching issue. The Japan World Cup team was specified to reach the semi-finals, not the U20 team.
Do we want to scale them relatively?
No. So what I'm going to say is that the original Japan U20 team is probably something like a 64 or 5.
Okay. So like 65%.
Blue Lock's team is like mid to upper 80s.
Yeah, I was thinking this like 85, so like 20% better on that scale.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like it's weird.
What do you think? Onyx AYT.
I was thinking something relatively similar. I was gonna say 65 to like 82, but I'm, a whole 3 points. OG will agree.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fight you on that.
My
You should.
Yeah.
No. I want to edit.
So, all right, I'll just get into my take now. The take I said was going to cause some argument because I think it's funnier. People didn't agree with me that the former Japan U20 team could beat these guys. And so I'll say this. The former Blue Lock 11 team is beating these guys. No Shido, no Sai. The former, like, you count the 14 players who play for Blue Lock 11. They are beating them. They are.
I don't think that's as controversial because
apparently it is. Apparently, people think it is.
The strongest players within that team was all of the defenders, and I know like we credit Sendo, right? But like realistically, he's gotten one goal in this entire existence.
Yeah,
and that's not even from being in the U20 team. And yeah, so how I see it is that if Sai and Shida were included in the Japan U20 team to face Nigeria, I would definitely see Japan winning. Duh. So by that extension, I definitely see Blue Lock U20 team doing better than Japan U20 team, not including Sai and Shida.
Here's my question.
So the scaling is Nigeria either that most likely equal to Japan U20, the original one, then Blue Lock being better than Japan U20, so therefore I believe Blue Lock beats Nigeria U20.
Here's the thing. I've had an argument and a debate with a lot of people, and I say that the opening play from Nigeria where Onazi shot through the block of Audio and Aiku, it was planned. Right? It was a set-up strategy. And one of the reasons I point into this is because when you compare feats of them all the way back to the Japan U20 game, it doesn't line up that Onazi, with seemingly no kind of predictive skills or analysis that would put him over 2 Metavision users, exists for him to be able to shoot through there and them not notice it without it being planned. And there's more narrative important, and there's more narrative reason to conclude that that was set up by them. Like, they left that gap, considering Gagamaru isn't even fucking looking at the play. He's looking the other fucking direction. And the fact that Aiku just didn't press him, like, it doesn't make sense. But let's take the opening play from Nigeria. You have Chigiri, who are the wingbacks? Bachara and Chigiri, and then you had Audio and Nico on defense. Are you telling me that the opening play from Nigeria, you don't think that Nico is going to be able to do what he did to Sendo there? Like, you're telling me a play from Bello to Onazi is more effective than a play from Sai to Sendo? What? I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
That's how it does. I like to power scale everything as a Dragon Ball fan. Sai Itoshi comparison to the Nigeria U20 team is like the Ginyu Force versus Goku on the Namek Saga.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because Golden.
Onazi, no fucking no. Hold on. Onazi is not near not trying U20 Sai level. Get that fucking out of here. No way in hell are you telling me that Onazi is at the level of a minimum effort New Gen 11. Bullfuck.
Nigeria U20 team is Ginyu Force level and Sai is Goku level when he arrives on the planet.
There's no way you, Kerbis, you really believe that.
If you're not a Dragon Ball fan, so everyone is going to be pissed either way.
The bottom line is like,
who the fuck is the Ginyu Force?
Okay, but the thing is, if Nico could see through a Sai pass, you're telling me that he couldn't see through a Bello and Onazi play and then stop it the same way he did with Sendo there? And are you telling me that Aiku, who intercepted the play between Bachara and Isagi, couldn't see that play either if they were actively trying to shut them down from the start? Onazi is not Baro or Shido level. Get the fuck out of here. Get Onazi past Karasu first. Get him past
Also
Karasu.
been 4
Get
chapters.
Get him past Atoya.
Honestly, as of what we see right now, I'm not scaling Onazi to.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not saying
straight.
you're wrong, Arrow. I'm just saying like be open to the fact that we're only.
Yeah, and I am. I am. I've made the claims. I said in future chapters, if my opinion is wrong, yeah, I'm scaling off of what we have.
Whoever that chatter is, it could happen. Right now, it's not. You can't say he is when he's not scored a goal at all. But it can happen. So we're not disregarding you. We're just saying right now we've yet to get the evidence to what you're saying be true.
Here's what I say. If you want to say Onazi is currently Bato or Shido level, you're telling me that if you were to put Bato or Shido into the same situation as Onazi has been put in, that they're doing relatively the same? No, they're going to do better. You put Shido or Bato on that opening play, they're scoring. You put Shido or Bato back, like going against Isagi on that defensive play, Isagi's having a much harder time creating that one-touch pass. Like, every situation you want to put them into, Shido or Bato excels more than they do. There's no justification that you have to say that these guys are like that. And I also hate the fucking claim of, oh, they're the kings of Africa. The fucking Japan was called the Diamond Generation. Names mean shit if they don't have the skill to back it.
No, here's the issue with all of those nicknames. It's promotional material. They hype stuff up. This is how in real life works. They give someone or a team a nickname to make them seem better than they are, or more profitable and marketable than they actually are. And I'm not saying Nigeria U20 is a. Right now, they have shown discouragement after being scored on twice by BLUELOCK. So without Onazi being there, they would have fucking folded. But Onazi admittedly has not done anything yet either. So we can't say like Onazi's better than this player, Onazi's better than that player. We could scale him to the lower end of BLUELOCK, but right now, he hasn't done anything in particular aside from the save and the attempted strike that got blocked by Nico. That he's done anything on the scale of Baru, Shido, Isagi, or Rin. You gotta get a goal. Goal is what's emphasized as the biggest amount of importance within the series. Scoring more goals than your opponent does is the key, and Onazi hasn't scored more goals than his opponent has. So we gotta wait until that happens before we can accurately judge whether or not Onazi is a good.
I'm just hoping that like these group stage matches, or at least Nigeria and maybe even England, aren't like NEL length, like 40 chapters, because like just do it like you could skip like 1-2, skip a few, bro. Like we don't need to.
This game is gonna end in 15 chapters. At this point, it's gonna end in 15 chapters.
It seems very like we're gonna get like a backstory or something, right? But like aside from that stuff, this game seems really short. I'd like to compare it to like the old second selection games. So I'm pretty sure the game of Bato, the 2v2 with Bato and Naruhaya, I'm pretty sure that game lasted 8 chapters. Yeah, I could foresee it being like Rin and Isagi level the second time.
Dude, Kerbis, you're rage baiting. You have to be. I just made the claim. I just showed you. Onazi getting past Audio and IQ was a set-up plan by BLUELOCK's defense. They let him.
If it's a rage bait, then don't fall for it.
No, because he keeps trying to fucking argue with people in the chat. I'm just shutting it down now. Like, that's not what happened.
What, in your comments or in the Discord?
In the chat. In the chat here.
He's live streaming, bruh.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I've been streaming. Yeah. Why do you think we're here?
Why we're in the era of
Dude, you've been in here for like 2 hours, and I was like, it said you were AFK, and I was like, oh. Okay.
No, I've been here for an hour.
He's been here for just over an hour.
Dude, I swear to God, you've been in this call since I got home from class. Thank God I didn't say anything. I didn't know you were live.
God, I really would have hoped you didn't say anything.
What have you been sitting here editing?
Yeah, but Yeah, Onazi just isn't like. I think if Onazi were to get NEL ranked, he's getting put at like 11.
Yeah, I'm going to say like, this may be debatable, and I don't care what chat is mine. If anyone wants to make the claim that Onazi's better than what I say, whatever, you do you, because I don't really care. Onazi is like, he's not reaching top 10. As of right now, for what he's shown, he's not reaching top 10. No. That means he's worse than Kunigami.
Yeah. Also, Kurbis, the whole point you made is exactly what I'm saying. If Gagamaru trips over and Onazi gets a tap in, would that magically scale Onazi higher because he scored a goal? No, that's exactly the point, is that circumstances matter. He wouldn't scale higher than Gagamaru because Gagamaru wasn't actively trying to stop it. He fell over and he got a quick tap in. That doesn't scale him higher. That doesn't... You disagree with the take that Onazi shooting through... Yes, but there's evidence that proves that it was, and you saying, oh, well, if he got a tap in, it makes him scale higher. No, because circumstance matters. Circumstance matters.
Yeah,
anyways.
Not all goals are built the same.
Yeah. When I score...
Like in the grand scheme of a goal, a point is a point, but if we're trying to, like, rank and, like, I guess, power scale characters, like, the circumstance of the goal matters 100%.
Get Onazi past Agi level. Get Onazi past Agi first.
Agi was also heavily nerfed too. Like
that's relatively.
Agi was worth 80 million. I don't even think Onazi would be worth that.
Well, that's also because Agi was like Raven made a whole video on this. He was giving up goal opportunities to try and set up Nagi. Like Agi could have been a lot better in the NEL if he wanted to, or if he was allowed to. I should say he definitely hated. Like
Agi was closer to the new gen level than most of the blue lockers were in that game. Yeah, only in like end of Uber's PXG where people
isn't 80 mil like a top 10 bid for the blue lockers?
Hold up, we'll find this out right now.
Yeah,
it is.
I'm pretty sure that puts him just below Chigiri.
Agi's purpose there was simply to help with development.
Yeah, literally.
And he was strong-armed into helping with other people's development when he was frustrated with Nagi because Chris Prince
there's a panel of Chris Prince yelling at him to pass the Nagi and you see him get pissed off.
Yeah, 80 million. 80 million puts Agi at 6th.
Gladly taken that on his own. But
80 million would put Agi at 7th in terms of NEL ranking.
Yeah.
My boy is not even 7th.
Yeah, like Ryo's at 78 million at 7th place. Oh, like I don't even think. I honestly would say Onazi may have like 53-ish, 55.
Where would that put him?
Okay, circumstances matter. Yes. Okay, circumstances matter. Onazi shot past Aiku and Audio. Yes, but they let him. That makes the feat worse.
When does that happen? 314.2?
No, 313.
313. Thank you. I'm gonna go look it up.
313. Go through the chapter.
This is awesome.
Audio isn't stopping him. Onazi's in front of him.
Ayu is marking his pass points basically. It's encapsulating his opportunity to make a play forward.
You're telling me it took 2 Metavision. You think it makes sense that it takes 2 Metavision users to stop Onazi as opposed to them letting the shot go through, which makes sense.
Nico would be there, yeah.
Because they know Nico's going to be... I'll fill in any gaps. Yeah, a gap was intentionally left because they're seeing if their strategy and their formation that they prepared works and makes sense. So Nico slides in at the last moment to dedicate Onazi fully to offense. So that way, if their strategy is right, he's going to have to run all the way back. Which, by the way, he only barely stopped Rain at the last second. Barely. And it took him trailing all the way back to do that.
And then also, even if Nico wasn't there, like he's shooting from so far outside the box, I think Gagamaru could have... He may not have been able to catch it, but he definitely wouldn't have let that go in.
Yeah.
Like he's got to how far out is the box? Is it 28 meters? I'm not a football soccer head. I don't know the measurements.
You can't say you still disagree. Your point's wrong.
Give me a second.
Sorry.
You can disagree. That's his opinion. It's just
Yeah, it's a wrong. Sorry, it's a wrong opinion. It's wrong.
Yeah, then then let him have a wrong opinion. Ignorance is sometimes bliss, and he's clearly thinking of himself as blissful. It's fine.
No, he's allowed to. He's allowed to disagree. Yeah. They're allowed to disagree. It just we can also disagree.
Anyways, and you know what time? You know what time it is? It's time.
The distance is 18 yards. What?
Oh, no, this is probably 20.
That is 16 meters. It's actually way short.
Kirby, you say Onazi is very good. Give me evidence. He's not.
Yeah, his only feat so far is just like.
I'll give you evidence. You remember that one time when he said, "I'm here"? Clearly that's All Might scale.
All Might scale. Yeah, I don't know about the idea that they like let him shoot that, because like even if it's part of a plan where it's like, oh, we know Nico's gonna stop him, you don't know where he's gonna shoot. But at the end of the day, Onazi didn't score there, and the defender shut him down.
Hey, at the end of the day, as far as I'm aware, Nico's better. So that's how I say it. If Onazi can't score past Nico, of all people, no chance.
Actually, no, never mind. Nico's not that far. It's probably like. I'm looking at the chapter right now. My guess is that Nico's no less than.
Where was Nico in the bids? Because I'm going to rank Onazi below Nico.
Nico was like mid 10s, I want to say. I think it was like 13.
Like 16.
No, Nico was like. Hold up, I'll tell you right now. Nico was not high. Nico was
16th.
Yeah, no, 15th. He was 40 million. Yeah. He was just above Hiyori.
40 million. Okay, so that means Onazi is 38 million.
I don't think that's how that works.
No.
That means Onazi.
I'm trolling Onyx.
I was gonna say.
Listen. You're trying to tell me you think Obabonia is worth as much as Nico? No. He's worth like.
Nah, bro.
I would say.
Bro, let him cook. He's about to do something crazy.
Obabonia is like 38 million. Bello is probably worth like 28. Kuso is probably worth, I would say.
2.
Maybe
Bro
like
doesn't know how to play.
Maybe 43ish, and then Onazi's like 53.
I'm willing to say Kuso's been motherfuckers on the pitch.
I'm ignoring this motherfucker in terms of debating him because I know he's just being stupid right now. Evidence for why Onazi's good. He shot through Aiku and Aryu's block and stopped Ruin's shot. What?
Bro, put him in top. Esther.
I've given no factual evidence. It's called reading comprehension, buddy. Go read through the story and realize that, that gap was left intentionally for their plan. Why is Bello worth 28 million? Because this motherfucker has done less than Fukaku has. So I'm giving him the same bid.
That's crazy.
Anyways.
Onyx, you gonna take that?
No, well, which part? Because I have feelings about. Again, I'll go back to it. I have feelings about saying that they intentionally let Onazi shoot to let Nico fucking eat a ball to the face. But regardless, they stopped him. Baseline, we can all agree that he was shut down by BLUELOCK's defenders. And I don't know. I think they had a plan to stop him. I don't think that plan was initially. We're gonna stand right here and he's gonna shoot right here, and then Nico's gonna block him with his face. But obviously, whatever they had planned worked out, and their space.
See, I say that's their plan because as the following chapter, Aiku literally goes, "It's just like our simulation. The Nigerian players are leveraging their physical abilities to make and receive outrageous passes, and then finishing by passing to their ace striker to score goals. It's a single endpoint system. They leave a slight gap open that he could shoot through, but they have 2 defenders still on him to where shooting isn't the most rational and logical option. Like, it's definitely like, okay, he has a 20% chance to make it.
Shooting, yeah.
They bait him into shooting to confirm, okay, he's not gonna pass. Their only attacking player is Onazi. Other part of their stuff, by making him shoot, they fully dedicate him to offense. So when he fully trails back, their entire simulation for what they've been training for is confirmed. That he's going to be the only one who shoots, and he's going to be running all the way back. That is why they did it. To fully dedicate him to offense, to confirm A, he's going to be the only one who takes any kind of shots, and B, to confirm their suspicions and their strategy of what they've been training for and their new formation to stop them. Like, oh, is he going to trail all the way back? Yeah, we gave him the most offensive heavy situation, and he's still running all the way back and just barely makes it. That was their simulation. That was what they trained for. It just got confirmed now.
Well, when Aigu talks about their simulation being confirmed, it is specifically giving flashbacks to the other Nigerian players and not Onazi. I'll agree that like their plan was to entrap Onazi, bait him into shooting, steal the ball, and then have a heavy counterattack because the focal point of their offense and defense is now stuck on their side of the net. So they have plenty of resources to like have an advantage to push. But saying I'm not gonna agree with the fact that like everything like they were like, oh, Ryu's going to be right here, Aiku's going to be right here, and then we're going to let him shoot in between these two, and then Nico's going to slide in out of nowhere and then face block it. I think saying that their one plan isn't great, but I'll agree with the fact that their plan was to entrap Onazi and then counterattack, and they did that successfully.
I think the fact that like Isagi literally says, no, I've already transcended them. I can see a vision of our victory, meaning that was like, as soon as they got their suspicions confirmed, Isagi's like, yeah, all right, we're good. Like, the whole point of them letting Onazi shoot gives him the full off, like, okay, let's say there was, like, he doesn't shoot, right? He's still on offense, but the moment he passes the ball back to Kuso, like, or gives the ball away, if they were to steal it then, they have a better chance. Onazi has a much easier time getting back. Because even as Onazi shot there, he just barely made it back. Yeah, so in a situation where he's any further back, given any less distance, he's 100% trailing back and having a better time stopping it. Having him be so far up and even take that final shot puts him in an offensive position that's even further than if he wasn't like there, if he wasn't shooting, because he still barely made it. If you give him any extra time, he's making it with much more ease. So try and put stress on him, get an opening goal. If they can, no? Okay, everything that we've been training for has been confirmed. Everything that they've studied, practiced, and trained for, yeah, that's locked in.
Yeah, my thing is just clarifying that, like, there's a difference between the feat of, like, them doing, like, exactly as described, like it's a fucking chessboard and the pieces move in a particular order, and they knew that that is exactly how it's going to go, versus they had a general plan and it succeeded.
Well, you're acting. Well, you're acting. Well, the thing is, you're acting like they haven't studied the Nigerian team, which A, they have. Two, you're acting like it's not 3 Metavision users who have all been like, all right, yeah, we stopped the play, and now we see a way to win. Like, Nico, Aiku, and
like fucking inch by inch like movement. You can have a general plan.
That's what Isagi did with Metavision in the Manshine game. He predicted everything, movement by movement by movement. He predicted everything. In Ubers, movement by movement by movement with his Metavision, he predicted the play. So long as he had the data and studied on them, which they did, he predicted everything. Like, they predicted and stopped everything. Like, okay, for example, go into the play with Isagi for the opening thing of Ubers, right? Like his opening goal in 212. As Isagi and Krona break down the field, he has Metavision. He predicts Yukimiya is gonna come in and uses him to bait out a defender, right? And then
but this isn't Isagi though.
No, but I'm saying it's the fact of Metavision helps predict the future. And when they have all this data, they have an idea and a simulation of what they've trained for. Like, they've prepared and have a formation to deal with this circumstance. They are confirming their suspicions that everything they're set up for is going right. This is why we don't see any of them sweating. The Nigerian team is the only ones we're seeing sweat so far. These guys are not worried. Everything they've been training for is coming to fruition. As Isagi, their central figurehead, shutting down understanding game-changing moments and plays. Aiku, who studied strategy and formations, has Metavision, and Nico, who's just gotten stronger and better with his own Metavision. These 3 characters are all saying, okay, we had a strategy, we had a simulation, let's set up the situation so we can confirm it without risking anything, which they didn't risk anything by this. Like, everything they've been predicting and studying and training for is coming true. And they're doing that because they're setting up the situation to confirm their suspicions. Okay, let's give Onazi the slightest shot opening. Gagamaru's still there, ready, locked in. They do anything, boom, he's got it. Even then, give him the slightest gap, and Nico slides in, boom, he did. Which is what Nico does. consistently does that. That's how he plays. Then you set him up. Onazi is all the way up. You make a very swift counter. Is he going to trail all the way back? Yeah, he did. Boom. Isagi's like, okay, everything we've been studied for is true. I found a way to win. I know how we're winning. Because there explains no other way Isagi would be like, in 2 minutes, all right, I know how we're winning. Unless they specifically trained and set up a situation to confirm their suspicions. Because if they didn't set it up, Isagi could still be like, well, okay, well, there's still other variables we could have to deal with. No, if he's like, I've transcended them all, I know how we're winning, everything they've been practicing for has come true. And it only happens to do that if they set up the situation as most intense as possible. Meaning, give Onazi the opening.
Yeah, my
Does that make
point with
sense?
him. Yeah, no, it totally does, and I agree with you. My point was just that for a second I thought you were like, oh no, they planned like move by move ahead of time, not like in the game using metavision. I was like, that doesn't make any sense because you can't predict that far. Even with like metavision, you're not gonna like predict exactly how every move is gonna go before a game happens.
What I would say they do is predict
with metavision in the middle of the game. That makes sense.
What I would say is, okay, they have an opening assault. Okay, what we'll do is let's give them the slightest gap. Nico, you fill that in. We're going to try and press him to see what he does to confirm suspicion A. If he still shoots, you move in just in case. You move in and you fill that gap and lock it off. That will force him to be all the way up. And then we'll make a swift counter, which is what happened with Hiyori and Hiyori Karasunu. Because if you look at Hiyori didn't dribble. As soon as he got the ball, he whipped across. Immediately. They're wanting a swift counter because they want to see how fast Onazi is going to trail back if he does, which they got their suspicion confirmed. The whole point of that play is setting Onazi up to be as far up as possible and as dedicated to offense as possible to see if they can get an opening goal or if he's going to trail back like they studied for. And doesn't it seem a little bit weird that if Audio's entire training was about becoming someone who can follow your movements, that he doesn't try to stop Onazi at all? Like, he says himself, like, all right, go all the way up to 315, where Onazi is matching up against Audio. You're telling me that he learned spacing, tiny movements of an opponent's body and gaze, you can sense their next action. You're telling me that with all this training, he didn't apply that in the opening chapter? Why wouldn't he do that? Unless it was on purpose. You're telling me Aiku has metavision and he didn't try to use that in the opening play? I wonder why he didn't do that. Because right after we see him using metavision, the chapter right after in 315 in 314.1 we see him using metavision, but not in the opening play? Nico wasn't using it either. A little suspicious, isn't it? They have done all this training, and now they're only using their weapons in this circumstance, after they figured out 100% their strategy. Does that not make sense? You're also telling me with previous feats of Audio shutting down aerial passes, or Aiku shutting down aerial passes, that they just didn't do that then? You're telling me Audio, someone with the highest jumping height on the Blue Lock team, just decided not to intercept the pass? Same with Aiku? It doesn't make sense. This is a reasonable conclusion. This is called reading comprehension. Anyways, that was my rant. Now, the final thing I wanted to do before the stream ends, because I gotta go in like 30-ish minutes, because I got something to do. Tier list. It's the second goal. Second goal has been scored. We gotta do a tier list now.
Yay.
Of where everyone ranks. I gotta pull up the previous one to see where everyone was put. Was this 315 that we did this, or was it 314? Trying to remember when the... I think it was 314.2.
I was gonna say I would assume it's 314 because 315 is the goal, Sally. So
yeah, but I thought we ranked it after the goals. I didn't know if we ranked it after the goal celebration. After all that stuff. Okay, so this was our ranking, and I'm not gonna have the characters we thought were going to be subs. these were the ranks. So we had audio there. We had... I don't know why we had Gagamaru. I don't know. He didn't do anything. We had...
Right, Raven.
Nico. Is Raven here? Or is he muted?
Oh, he's here.
I'm still here.
Okay. And then Obabonia there. And then we had... Where is he? Oh, I'm using the wrong template. Oh, I'm smart.
I was gonna say, I was like, why the fuck is Himizu here, bro?
Yeah, I'm using the wrong... Which one did I use? I don't remember which one I used. Is it this one? No. I used one of them. I just can't remember.
Yeah, I think you're just using all the fucking all the NAL.
Here we go.
Blockers.
This was one, I think. This is the one we used, I think. And I'll import the files right here. We had Obabonia down here. We had Kuso at... Kuso was high A for some fucking reason. Oh, that was our prediction at the end of the game, I think. Dude, this is annoying. I don't find how we scaled them. Okay, now here we go. I think this is the ranking we had here. Okay. Why is there Popeyes ad on my screen? Damn it, Popeyes. I can't remember the ranking. For the life of me. Forget it. We'll just do the ranking over again. Do the ranking over again. Who pinged me? Oh, video uploaded. Get all these guys in here. Alright. Get out of here, commercial. Alright. I don't think I'm missing any characters who have done something in this game. I don't think I'm missing anyone. Oh, Bello. Here we go. Alright. So.
Bello?
Alright, starting with our first one. Alright, where are we putting audio? S to D ranking in terms of what he's done so far. Where are we putting him?
I don't know, man.
Well, you guys are just engaging co-hosts, aren't you?
Yeah, I just work, dude. I don't know. I just work here.
I'm low energy.
I'm trying to edit.
Alright, well, that's so helpful. Alright. Chat, you can help me because... yeah, well, these guys aren't helping me, so you guys, chat, you can help me. Alright. I think when it comes to audio, I think audio before, I would honestly probably put him low B. Like, he stopped Onazi one-on-one, and it led to Nico stealing the ball. So I think that's definitely something that's valuable there. Ryo, though's an S. I think Ryo's plays an S. Like, by far. Why don't I use the official chapter in my reviews? A, the leaks come out, my video comes out like 24 hours before the official chapter drops. B, every time I try to cover the official chapter, it bombs in views. So Natsu does one before the chapter and after, because I don't like Natsu. Natsu's a bitch. I don't like his content. I don't like him. I don't like his content. Fine dude, I guess. I've talked to him like once, but I don't like his content. I think his content is not good. Alright. Obabonia, I'm putting down here in D, along with Bello. They just haven't done shit. Obabonia has failed to stop 2 goals so far. So I think they just deserve to be there. IQ, I'm putting in probably D above them just because he's only really done one thing. But, like, it's worse than conceding 2 goals. So we're going to put IQ there. Hiyori sent a pass to Rain that almost led to a goal, so I'm going to put him probably, like, low C, I'd say. Karasu, I'm gonna put A, just because Karasu was doing really good at the start of the match. He was man of the match for the first couple chapters, and then he, well, yeah, I guess you said Obabone got a loose ball, so I'll probably put him above Aiku then. I'll give him that. Chigiri was the inspiration for Rayo's goal, but he didn't really do much aside from that. I'd probably put Chigiri in the same realm as Aryu, maybe a little bit above. And actually, I'll put him below. He beat a couple no-name Nigerian defenders and then gave across Isagi. Isagi, I'm probably going to put A. Maybe above Karasu, I think. Rain, I'll probably put... Isagi got the assist. I'm going to put Rain below Karasu there. Kuso, probably put him high B, above Aryu. Nico, though, I think Nico goes like low S. Oh, Nazi, at this point, I think he's going to go probably put him at A. Probably put Nazi in A above Isagi, and then Bachata I'm putting at S. So, like, this is my ranking. This is my ranking, I think, for the chapter. Onyx and Raven are just not contributing. I'm crying. Help me. Okay, then. Alright. This is my ranking. I think this is fair for now. Oh, yeah, Onazi did lose. Yeah, I'm putting Onazi there. Onazi blocked the shot, but he's failed really every other attempt. So I think this is a good ranking so far of where the characters are. Bachata, Ryo, Nico, definitely top 3. And then Isagi, Karasu, Onazi, Rain in A tier. Kuso, Aryu, and Chigiri in B. Hiyori in C. And then Obabone, Aiku, and Bello in D. I think that's a good ranking. Am I forgetting someone? I don't think I'm forgetting someone. Alright. Well, that was the stream. Pretty easy stream. Oh my god. Pretty easy. I got stuff I gotta be doing, but I hope you guys did enjoy the discussion for chapter 316.
Is on X.
317 will be dropping next week, so I'll be doing a stream at normal time. Natsu's the biggest BLUELOCK content creator. His content is horrible. He's big because he gets to leaks before everyone else. That's the whole reason he's big. You know what? Fuck it. Going on a Natsu rant again. I don't care. I'm going on a Natsu rant.
I would just end the stream here. Thank you, guys.
You would. Natsu is only big because he gets to leaks before other people. That's it. Every other part of his content is AI'd. His scripts are, and his audio is. And I know this. A, the names of the characters are pronounced horribly incorrectly and are all robotic voiced. All AI voiced. The scripts, they're AI'd. We put them through AI generators. They're AI'd. Just to confirm their AI detection. What he's saying is incredibly inaccurate in relation to current events of the story, which if he's a leak content creator or a chapter content creator, which he covers, he should know about these events because he covers them and documents them. The video, I was on with Animasu, I was on a call with him. He could make Natsu's video in 5 minutes, and he did. He made a full Natsu video in 5 minutes. It's not high quality content. It's easy rip content, and he just gets the stuff first. That's why he's the most popular. No other reason. If you look at his videos in relation to his sub count and his non-chapter review videos, he's getting like 1/10 of the views of what his sub count is. That is horrible at that scale. That means people go to you for one reason and one reason only, and it is to see the leaks. I don't care if you want to show him this video. I'm saying, Natsu, I say this directly to you. You cover leak content and chapter content, and that's why people follow you. You need to start making more original content that isn't AI. You have to. It has no spark, no soul. That's how it is. You can disagree with me if you want. That's how I feel. And that's my opinion on Natsu. I think that there are other creators who deserve the sub count he has that make way better content and should be regarded as better content creators than Natsu because they create something. Natsu just pulls something out of his ass. That's just me, though. All right, that's why I'm ending the stream. We wanted to get that out there.